Hello friends and my dear students, and today I am going to tell you why Java is called the platform independent language. So you must have seen many languages where some translators are used. So when any translator is used, we should distinguish between these translators. So what are these translators? There are two translators. One is compiler and other is interpreter. So in Java, or in other languages like C or C++, we normally use the compiler. So what compiler does, it converts the entire code into machine language and creates the machine executable code. So after compilation, the source code is not required and you can run the program as and when you require. And this time I am going to tell you about the Java program. Why is Java called platform independent programming language? So, I hope you must have seen the browser since you are doing work in system where browser is there. And to navigate the website, you need to have the browser. So, any browser. So, what does browser do? Very important thing which I am going to tell you here, that if any Java script program there, if any Java script program is there, it is executed by the browser very easily. And in that case, the browser uses the interpreter to execute the JavaScript code. For example, this is JavaScript code. And how will you run it? To run this JavaScript code program, we need a browser. And this browser interprets this code and gives the output. Means if the code is there, independently it doesn't run. So what does interpreter do? Interpreter interprets the line of this script and gives the output. So a browser is required. So through browser, this JavaScript is gets executed. Okay. Inside the browser, this JavaScript is interpreted by the interpreter line by line, and that is why to run the JavaScript, a browser is required. In gist, compiler runs only once, means it creates a machine native code, and after that source code is not required and compiler is also not required. So after compilation, the machine code gets executed as and when you want to execute it. Still the question remains, why is Java called platform independent language? So see here, once Java source code is compiled, machine code file is created, which is known as the bytecode, and runs independently, whereas when JavaScript is required to be executed, it needs the interpreter to convert code line by line and execute it. So it is slower than the compiler. So interpreter execution through interpreter is slower than the execution of the program which is compiled through the compiler. So this is the basic difference between the interpreter and the compiler, that interpreter gives the slower result, whereas compiler gives the faster result. And for example, as far as Java program is concerned, Java program does not get executed as and when it is compiled. Then what does it do? This is very important to know, that when you create a program, for example, sample.java, once the program is created, you are required to compile it. So compiler is needed. So what does compiler do? It translates the code to get the error-free machine native code. But machine native code that machine does not understand, because until and unless you interpret this machine code, you will not get the output. In this case, after compilation, it gives the error-free bytecode. So it is famous and it is well known that when a Java program is compiled, after compilation, a new file is created, new code is created, which is known as the bytecode. So bytecode file has the extension .class. Means it does not give the machine code, as machine does not understand only machine code. And in this case, one more program comes into existence, which is known as JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So after compilation, the role of JVM starts. What does JVM do? It converts the bytecode into the machine code and executes it. Hope this is clear to you, that first step to code, to create the source code. Second step, to use a compiler to convert into machine native language or machine native code, an error-free code, which is known as the bytecode. And then JVM converts this bytecode into machine codes and executes it. And this way, this Java program gives the output. And JVM, what does JVM do? JVM is interpreter. So, this way, this Java language is known as the hybrid language, because Java uses compiler as well as the interpreter. So compiler to convert the code into error-free bytecode, and after error-free bytecode, JVM interprets this bytecode line by line and gives the output. So after converting the machine code by the JVM, it gives the output also. So JVM works in the background. We cannot see JVM working. JVM works in the background. So Java, you can say, as I have told you, the Java is a hybrid language which uses both compiler and interpreter. And one most important thing, which is the interpreter is slower than the compiler. As I have told you in the first paragraph, it is written, the compiler is faster than the interpreter. Now, when a program you want to execute, we need the computer system. Means computer system means the hardware. So if you see here, hardware is there, and once the hardware is executed or activated, the operating system gets loaded into memory. The operating system gets loaded into memory. And after operating system, if you double click on any program, the program is opened in its native software and gets executed. So over here, it indicates that operating system plays very important role while running the program or executing the program. So first is hardware, then operating system, then program. So operating system is responsible for every activity being done or being executed inside the computer. Or in the case of Java or the program, what happens here, you must note that here this is the memory. When you are going to execute the program, resources are available. So this is monitor, this is keyboard, and this is the mouse, and this is CPU. And program is stored in the memory to execute, means RAM. So program interacts with operating system, but how? Is there anything which makes the interaction between these two? Because if program wants to print anything on the monitor, It cannot print directly on the monitor. It needs the help of the operating system. So how does program interacts with the operating system? And suppose the program needs some input, the keyboard is required. So who will make the interaction between program and the keyboard? This is through operating system. Then in gist, which is the body which makes interaction between the program and the operating system, or which makes the communication between program and the operating system. So to communicate with the operating system, program to communicate with the operating system, we require some another program. What is that program? How a program communicates with the operating system? One API is needed. API means application program interface. It is needed, which is called the system call. So API makes the communication available between program and operating system. So this way, if you see, the communication is made through this API. So if program wants some input from the keyboard, the API works to communicate, to make the link between program and operating system. If program wants to print it on the screen, the API works between program and operating system, because operating system is all in all. So if program wants to do anything, it has to get the help of the operating system. So how does program gets the help of the operating system? So program gets the operating system through API. So API helps the operating system to make the resources available so that program uses the resources. Okay. So as far as Java is concerned, once Java program is created and compiled, over here to run the Java program, hardware is there, operating system is there, and program is compiled. This is here. So once program is compiled and you want to get the output of this program, JVM comes into existence, and JVM makes the communication between program and operating system and the hardware. Java platform, Java virtual machine creates the link between the program and the operating system, and operating system manages all the hardware available. So whether this is Microsoft Windows operating system, so API helps JVM to interact with the resources. If this is Linux operating system, API will help JVM to interact with the resource of the Linux operating system. If Solaris is there, if MacBook is there, so over here the system call will help JVM to interact with the operating system, and the operating system will provide the resources to the program which is in the memory and CPU. After that, OS instructs CPU to execute the program. So JVM plays very important role, and JVM is the program which makes this language platform independent language. So this is the concept why Java is called the platform independent language, because JVM works on every system. If browser is there, JVM is there. Whether this is Chrome, whether this is Edge, whether this is Internet Explorer, whether this is Safari, whichever browser is there, JVM is there. And JVM, to interact with the operating system, JVM gets the help of API, and API will tell operating system to provide the resources. And that is why, and from this discussion, we have come to know why Java is called platform independent language. So hope you understand, and if you understand, kindly comment in the comment box and share it with your friends. And if you have not subscribed my channel yet, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to get the notification as and when any new video is uploaded. So we meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye.